Raptorium. Live now from the great state of Texas. It's Blind Rod with Son of Attack once again. How's everybody doing this morning? We have some crazy news. Finally though, we have zero miner releases today. I feel like every crypto mining show, we've had a release of a new miner. Today, we do not have a release of a new miner. However, we have a very interesting, unexpected announcement for a new GPU company coming out. And we have, of course, Hillary Clinton and the talks of the fear of Bitcoin replacing the US dollar as well, essentially the reserve currency, right? So this is where we're at today. We have tons of stuff. We'll also be covering, of course, mining profits as they have recovered a bit since yesterday. Thank goodness. And it's not great. It's not perfect yet. It's not cranking out as much as it was still, but we are looking at better profits. And today, let's just go ahead and start with the sponsor. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with Gddr6. Gddr6 provides a healthy alternative to sugary energy drinks with delicious flavors like Misfits Melon or my favorite Blue Raz. I use the Gddr6 as an alternative to support my active lifestyle outside of content creation. Caffeine-free options are great for late-night gaming after the kids have gone to bed. And my favorite part about Gddr6 is that they accept cryptocurrency. And for a limited time, when you purchase a tub with cryptocurrency, you will receive a Bitcoin shaker. Follow the affiliate link in the description. And don't forget to use code SOAT at checkout. And we're back. So, full disclaimer, I believe it's 20% of whatever you guys order from Gddr6. I get a kickback. If you use the promo code and pay with crypto, you can get a shaker. There you go. That's where we're at for today. Let's go ahead and talk about the new GPU from China. This is wild. You ready for it? Alrighty, so a report from videocards.com, that's cards with a Z. Innosilicon Technology announces Fenghua #1 server level GPU. The company called Innosilicon Technology has just announced its first high performance GPU for servers. It is by no means a gaming card, but the first Chinese attempt in making an actual competitor to NVIDIA and AMD offerings. The press release does not overwhelm readers with details. For instance, the specifications of the card are sadly not listed. What the press release does confirm, however, is that the GPU called the Fenghua #1 has been successfully tested and achieved breakthroughs in domestic high-performance graphics in data centers, because that's what basically the GPU is. It's a server GPU. What's interesting is if it's a server GPU, why is it a dual fan design? That doesn't make any sense to me. So those not familiar with the way basically server GPUs typically function is because the server has a whole bunch of high-powered fans in the front and some high-powered fans in the back. It's all about that airflow, baby, pushing it through. What you want in a server GPU typically is a blower style cooler. And that is typically what you'll see, which is a single fan that is taking the air that's coming in and then pushing it out through the back of the case. That is standard for a server GPU. So just, what I would consider a design flaw for a server GPU here would be a dual fan design. That's my personal limited engineering knowledge of GPU shroud designs and cooling designs in server versus, of course, workstations. So the Innosilicon GPU name that I cannot pronounce, #1, supposedly pictured above, would be a dual fan design with HDMI and DVI display connectors. It is therefore not a headless discrete GPU, but a workstation card. So there you go. This is what's confusing. Why is it called a server card, but then it says workstation? Because workstation in like a business setting or whatever, right? Still probably going to run. It could run like a dual fan design like that. I don't know. It's confusing to me. More importantly, though, the number one graphics card comes with Gddr6X memory. Faster memory than AMD is offering right now, which is Gddr6. Now, AMD has its little Infinity stuff going on, that Infinity Cache, which helps with the gaming, but it doesn't help with the mining. So do we potentially here have a mining GPU from China on the budget? Maybe, possibly. That could be exciting. All right, so it comes with the Gddr6 memory on board. Not stated how many modules or of what capacity. This memory technology has thus far been exclusive to the RTX 30 series gaming GPUs. The company actually has dedicated a page for its own Gddr6 technology with the overview here. We actually have it pulled up right here. Innosilicon is to offer up to 21 gigabits per second bandwidth for this technology. Whether that applies to the number one, we do not know. All right, so there's a little bit more information here, but nothing that I'm picking out that would be super relevant. And then probably the most interesting tidbit from the official press release is that it mentions support for various graphic APIs, including DirectX. I don't think that's interesting. They have to support the APIs. Come on. Come on. Like, the most interesting thing is that it'll be the first graphics card company to have Gddr6X outside of NVIDIA. That's the most interesting thing. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, essentially we will need more specifications before we can determine mining performance, because essentially if you basically look at like the way memory functions, we're going to need to have more information, such as, you know, things in this chart to determine it, right? You're going to need the pin, the amount of pins, the pin placements, and the amount of memory. You're going to need to know basically what the IO is, right? The bus width, whatever that's going to be. So you can see here like 12 times 32 or whatever, right? We need this information before we can extrapolate how fast the memory will be. And then once we figure out how fast the memory will be, then we can compare it to basically like, we can come in here and we can see what the total bandwidth would be. If you guys have ever watched my prediction videos, basically you can predict the hash rate of any given GPU that's about to release based on the memory type and the bandwidth. So if it's Gddr6, we can basically, you know, determine what the RX 6600 would be, which we were spot on with that prediction. We were spot on with the 6600X prediction, XD prediction. It's pretty easy to do. We just need some more information right now. As that information releases, hopefully if you guys catch it before me, go ahead and tweet it out or comment it down below. And I'll try to do the math so that we can see how well it's going to mine, because this could be a super interesting option. It will have PCI Express 4.0 support too. So there's that. That doesn't really matter that much for mining though. So let me know what you guys think about this new Fenghu GPU coming out. You know what I'm saying? And then, or I guess it's Fenghua is what Namasuke says. Thank you, Deadman. Fenghua. Huh. I'm always going to start mixing in like my Spanish accent. This is the only other foreign language I've even like remotely practiced ever, and I'm terrible at it anyways. All right, let's hop into Hillary Clinton. Can we talk about that safely? All right. So we have our next article, which is going to be Hillary Clinton talking about how she fears Bitcoin will undermine the dollar as the world reserve currency. She's probably correct. And she should be scared. And we should be happy. All right, let's get into it. Former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton spoke about Bitcoin and crypto's ability to weaken governments during a video panel discussion at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum in Singapore on Friday. Hillary warned what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. Exactly. That's why it was created. Oh, how many years did it take for that light bulb to tick off in your head, Hillary? Look, here's the deal. Yes, we have a method of minting new currency that is validated and basically impossible for you to manipulate. So yeah, it is a big threat. The government can't manipulate that currency. They can't mint new coins. The minting process is done through proof of work. You know why? Because the working class has found a way to bring capitalism back to basically improving the lives of the people that live within the nation, not the people that govern the nation. Hillary, okay. In describing this rather vague threat to nations and multinational corporations, Hillary betrayed the fact that she doesn't know the difference between Bitcoin and the separate asset class of cryptocurrencies. Many politicians don't. The terms should not be used interchangeably. Fair point. Bitcoin assures anyone with internet access this is written wrong. Internet access a decentralized permissionless right to property that cannot be confiscated or censored by any government. No one on the Bitcoin network is forced to choose between updating their software or risk losing their wealth. It is backwards compatible. Bitcoin is geographically agnostic, personal sovereign, wealth fund. The other thousands of cryptocurrencies are centralized and largely unregulated assets whose protocol can be changed at any time. Thus, in crypto, the threat of property confiscation persists. Bitcoin and crypto are completely different asset classes. Okay, I feel like we're painting a broad stroke here, Bitcoin Magazine. I know you're probably a Bitcoin maximalist, but there are other decentralized cryptocurrencies. But if we're talking about Ethereum, I'm totally on board with the centralized portion, right? It's a different crypto. It's a different asset class. The argument there is that we have programmable blockchain. All right. So there's still a need for that sort of thing too. And to a certain extent, maybe it's okay if it's somewhat centralized. I'll leave that up to the people that want to invest in these types of projects. That being said, there are fully decentralized platforms outside of Bitcoin that are functioning kind of on their own. The problem is like whenever you have a creator that wants to come out and take credit for whatever said cryptocurrency they developed, that's why essentially everything gets messy. So if you are creating a cryptocurrency out of ego, right, to supply your ego or to make money, like if those are your goals and you're like trying to push that cryptocurrency, it's very clear that already there's red flags popping up. So I can get that point of view. I just wanted to make sure that was too much, that you guys understand that's too much of a broad brush. There are cryptocurrencies. They're slow rolling decentralization. It just takes time. All right. So it goes on to say, therefore, when Clinton casually throws crypto in with her laundry list of threats to her political and economic worldview, she is categorically wrong. I think she's correct. I think Bitcoin Magazine tried to pick an angle to argue with her that is not that strong. The argument is, you're correct. It's doing exactly what we want it to do. That's the argument, Bitcoin Magazine. That's the argument. All right, let's go on. Oh, man. All right. Cryptocurrencies cannot undermine fiat currencies or nation states outright because what they offer is fundamentally the same as fiat, which is an asset class that is debased by government. All right. However, Bitcoin and Bitcoin only absolutely can. So here's where they go on to like saying that. This is a very oddly written article too, by the way, but that's okay. We'll get through it. and is disrupting the dollar as a global reserve currency. Bitcoin is a very real threat to the theft of property perpetuated by governments on their people simultaneously through taxation and currency debasement. Quote, nation states have got to pay greater attention to the rise of asymmetric power centers, end quote, Hillary stated. Ironically, the threats Bitcoin poses to nation states are predicated on its decentralization. Hillary tangentially went on to mention that disinformation in the political and economic sphere is only going to get worse. It is unclear what disinformation in the economic sphere she is referring to. It is hard to imagine what more socioeconomic relevant disinformation there is outside of attempts at the Fed to cover up inflation through manipulating and redefining the moving goalpost that is the consumer price index and wielding public health policy like a political chess piece. All right. So I think all right. Because I'm trying to parse out exactly what we went through here. And I had a thought and I think I lost it. But here it is. Here's the thought. Here's the thought. A lot of people right now, and this goes for everybody, nobody is innocent of this, are using the term and labeling things as disinformation, regardless of whether or not it's disinformation or not, to basically invalidate whatever opinion they don't agree with. So be very careful when we start getting into these discussions, because what you're going to start maybe seeing is like, oh, this is disinformation regarding crypto, etc. It's disinformation that you should prefer a non-KYC exchange. It's disinformation that you should take control of your own private keys. Just let the government handle it. The banks will handle it. Don't worry, it's centralized. We'll take care of your cryptocurrency for you, okay? We'll take care of it. Don't listen to those guys. Don't listen to that son of a tech. It's disinformation to control your own private keys. Stay frosty, boys. The former presidential candidate turned public speaker also warned that the, quote, rise of artificial intelligence, end quote, was going to, this is not a good quote. It's a terrible quote. Everything that just screams out of context to me. Was going to threaten nation states without providing any context or definition for artificial intelligence and in typical diplomat fashion without proposing any actionable solution to any of these vague perceived threats. Clinton's comments came while criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing him of deploying, quote, a very large stable of hackers and those who deal in disinformation and cyber warfare. How would you know, Hillary? Aren't you the one that's been like working closely with them? Is that why you know? Can't play both sides of the coin here. Get out of here. Quote, with his oligarch. Oh, I can't. I don't know that word. I better learn this word. Let's go learn it, guys, so we can educate ourselves. Well, apparently they're diapers. Oh, here it is. An intimate and often exclusive group of persons with a unifying common interest or purpose.
Coterie. With these oligarch coterie, he has utilized many non-state actors to personal as well as nationalistic goals, and I think that's going to become a greater and greater threat, end quote, she said at the forum in Singapore. Clinton has been blaming Russian interference along with decisions by the Federal Bureau of Investigation for her loss in the U.S. presidential election to Donald Trump for years. What these warnings have to do with her crypto talking points is unclear. Hillary is tilting at windmills. If she meant to warn the public about Bitcoin, her views are a laughable example of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And they're saying FUD. and not doing your own research. I mean, I think that we could have, I think it's an okay article. I think this part, this whole entire section, this article was clearly written by a Bitcoin maxi. That's it. That's all I gotta say. That's fine. Anyways, that's some wild, wild stuff going on. And I think that more and more of this is going to come out. You guys should keep your eyes and ears peeled for, any claims of disinformation that may go against the principles of crypto. Make sure you're up to date on things such as the Cyberpunk Manifesto, the Bitcoin White Paper, and, sharpen those freedom skills, right? Sharpen those freedom skills. Learn more about what your rights are as a human in whatever geographical location you're in. Understand that basically what is happening here with cryptocurrency, especially with Bitcoin, is a power struggle, and this will continue. Expect more and more rallying for basically any sort of regulation surrounding cryptocurrency. Just be prepared for it, because it's going to get interesting really, really fast. Now, what happens though? Because what you see here is a traditionally, I don't know how to explain this, but because I want to stay away from political, but we have to point out that where the Bitcoin mining farms are moving to are traditionally not states where Hillary Clinton would govern, if that would make sense. Okay. And the places that have more crypto regulation, etc., are the places where she would typically govern. Okay. So there is, at least in the United States, a possibility to have separate state-by-state regulations within cryptocurrency. If you want to participate in cryptocurrency, you may want to pay attention to the potential for moving to a state that is more friendly towards whatever you're trying to participate in. And this goes for anything, right? You want to try to set yourself up to be able to participate to the best of your ability within the economy, so that you can basically be a contributing member to society. That's the goal, right? And miners are the biggest contributor to society within the crypto world, because miners process the transactions, mint the currency, and regulate the network and secure it. Let's go. Let's go, boys. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the mining numbers for today. We're going to talk about mining profitability now. We have the RTX 3090 selected at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And Ethereum is at $7.32 a day after power costs. It's a little up, not much from yesterday, but I am seeing better numbers coming from the farm as well, albeit we did get those rigs up yesterday. So we got some more hash power on the network. Let's go ahead and check the big ones like we normally do. We want to see what a 3080 Ti is doing. Light hash rate. We're still looking at ETH on top for the 3000 series light hash rate GPUs. Let's pop us down to the 2080 Ti. This is where we saw Flux yesterday taking the lead. Flux is still in the lead at $3.99 a day for specifically the 2080 Ti. Now, Ethereum doesn't fall too far behind at $3.50. That really will beg the question of, if you just have a couple 2080 Ti's and not a full rig, is it worth throwing those two separately at Flux or not? It depends, because if you only have like one or two, and you're throwing it on a rig with other GPUs, probably not. Probably just still throw it at ETH. But if you have like a full rig of 6 or something along those lines, hell yeah, throw that stuff on Flux. Plus you get to support a new currency that I think is a little bit more friendly here in the upcoming future for, of course, GPU mining. So there's that. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the Asic miners for today. Gold shell KD5 still on top. It's $268. Oh, wow. We still have a bunch of Ethereum Asic miners that are coming soon, which is probably a lie, or unavailable for general sale, which is probably more than likely responsible for the uptick in the difficulty of the Ethereum network and pushing out, of course, the GPU miners like us to make sure that, well, for Ethereum, everything flows to the top. That's what it is. Other than that, you do have the miner L7 coming in behind that. I couldn't get my hands on one. I tried. They're all sold out. If somebody in chat can hook me up with one, that'd be cool. Let me know. And yeah, so Cadena is still pretty much rocking it as far as profitability goes on all of these. The Z15 popping up is kind of interesting. Especially, we were talking about Zcash kind of coming up in price again. It's kind of weird. But, we'll leave it at that. Alrighty, so my farm is, I have one rig down. And the reason I have one rig down is I was trying to change some of the settings in the Raptorium here. Specifically, this is the 5800X. And unfortunately, it's offline. I don't know why the update threw it offline, but we're going to have to go check it out. The other two came up just fine. So here's a 5600X running at 1.2 kilohash, which is pretty good. The temperatures are high. I think it has the stock cooler on it right now. So we're probably going to have to throw on something different. And then the only other one I have, which is also high temperatures and not doing as well, is the Threadripper. And this has a Noctua Threadripper cooler on it. So I'm not sure why this one's bad. I'm not sure why this is happening to this one. But we're going to have to go see if there's a better way to cool it. I had just done the paste and stuff on it. I don't know what's going on there. And then, of course, let's take a look at the update for the flex pool. We are at unpaid balance, doesn't really matter. We're up from like that 320 yesterday to 375 estimated earnings a day, 0.0884 ETH. Of course, ETH went up in price, so that is that's kind of what's compensating it for it more. The difficulty keeps going up. We were at 0.1 a day for a long time. We're at 0.08 now. Kind of a disappointment. And we're sitting at a current effective of 5.29 and a 24 average of 5.17 gigahash a second. So pretty good there. Let's get into questions for today. How the questions function is, of course, if you do a super chat, that's priority, because obviously there was something paid, and in return I would like to try to respond to that first, and that I feel like that's fair. And then, of course, tag me. It makes it easier in the orange when it comes through chat to see it. And so that is it. Let's go ahead and do it. Give me a second. I'm gonna get a sippy. Alrighty, Detroit Irish says, if you leave an overregulated area for a less regulated area, make sure you don't continue to vote regulating parties into office. Yeah, not you specifically. That is something that a lot of people say. I have not yet met one person who's come into jiu-jitsu from California and Texas that said they wanted to vote for that stuff back in. So there's that. As far as like what specific policies, I don't know. Get into it at some other point. I think it's just important to note that, like, yeah, just pay attention to where crypto is less regulated, right? Sycoflex says, let's talk about Raptorium. We always talk about Raptorium. And it says, do you still believe in Ryo? I still have a bunch of Ryo. I don't know why he hasn't updated his miner in forever. I actually am going to reach out. I'm going to go reach out to him at Fire Ice UK. Yo, what you working on lately, bro? Let's find out what's going on. All right. Explain says, son of a tech, do you focus on USD while mining or ETH mined? I know it translates, but I started focusing on amount of ETH and its future value. Well, future value, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't hold ETH, I hold Bitcoin. So I measure in value of Bitcoin because of the article we just read, basically today. Big Mike, thanks for the $10. And he said, just wanted to say, have a great day, and I hope things are getting better for you. I've been through that stuff, and you're doing the right thing by keeping busy and focusing on your path. Yeah, we're on the path. We're getting good. You know, I've been super happy with, of course, the performance of the Crypto Mining Morning Show. So thanks for the support there. Guys, the live streams are not... So you still have to do a lot of work, but they are definitely easier than like editing and everything. And I kind of have to lean on them a little bit. I'm trying to do 2 videos a day. It's not happening. We're going to be trying to get more and more done, though. So we'll see how it goes. I should get moved here soon, and then we'll be good to go. Big A says, son of a tech, why does everyone use Hive OS now? I'm GPU mining OG and still use Simple Miner. It's cheaper and you like the new UI. So I still think that some of the overclocking, I think the overclocking's done way better in Hive. Other things like setting up CPU mining along with GPU mining on the rigs are better. I have some on Simple Mining. I have some on Hive. It just depends. Painkiller says, son of a tech, you hear about the NFT Pirate Bay website? Is it for real? I have not. I'll try to look into it. I already answered that. Dave Jack says, I've been buying my cannabis with crypto for over a year now. Thoughts? You know, anything that's going to be accepting crypto, I think is good. And then obviously if you're going to like a legal shop or whatever, then I think that's cool. All right. Agger Visual says, son of a tech, what are your continued impressions of Ergo after the DEX has been out for a bit? Where do you think it stacks up as a proof of work coin after ETH 2.0? I think that as a proof of work coin, it is essentially top dog for programmable blockchain. I think it's number 1, numero uno. It's the one you should be looking at most for your GPUs. It's the one that's done the most in a short period of time too. So there are obviously like other valid uses for proof of work coins like Firo and Privacy, or like Flux and its ability to support other currencies and exchanges and integrate those into, you know, Zelcore. That's important. But if we're talking about programmable blockchain, you know, smart contracts, decentralized exchanges, blah, 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 building on top of the blockchain, Ergo seems to be the one to go as far as from a proof of work perspective. Jazzwolf, thoughts on buying more 3070 Ti's for $950 plus tax? Let's go ahead and take a look. There's this cool tool that we use every day called What to Mine. Let's go ahead and calculate it out for you here. 3070 Ti, calculate. Says you got Ravencoin at the top at $3.71 after power. Let's go ahead and do the Ethereum one, though, just to be safe. $3.46. Let's go ahead and pop open a calculator here. How's that sound? Let's go ahead and say like 1,035 divided by 3.46, and you're looking at an ROI of 299 days on Ethereum. And that's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. What do we say? We're at 11/19 right now. So we got December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. June. January, February, March, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, 7 months. So let's just say, like, to be conservative, somewhere around there, plus, like, I don't know, another 30 day or 10 days or whatever. I don't know. Roughly like 206 days. But, if you're going to mine Ravencoin, if you're going to mine Conflux, Flux, whatever it is, the issue that like everybody's going to be scared of, obviously, is the merge and the difficulty on all the other coins going up, plus probably some sort of market crash that coincides with it, right? So all that could be like basically timed to happen all at the same time, and there's some fear there. Would I buy 3070 Ti's for $950? Not right now, but that's because I have sources for other things that are better. 3090s for $1,800. I just got the 3070 non-light hash rates for $850 a piece. I don't know, man. I think that's still a good price though. But if you're looking at paying them off before ETH goes proof of stake, it wouldn't happen right now. I think that's pretty much it. That's how I would look at it. Let's see. Raymond says, let's see, where are we at? We did that one. So Raymond was next. He says, son of a tech, is it safe to buy a gold shell KD2, or is it a bad coin to buy an ASIC for? I mean, their profitability is great. Where are you picking them up from, and for how much though? Because once again, like, they're doing $108 a day. Is that right? I mean, like, that means they're probably going for what? Because ASICs are usually pretty high, right? Most of the ASICs right now are being priced at like a whole year out, pretty much. Are they selling those KD2s for like 40 grand or something? Okay. I don't know as far enough about Cadena or whatever as I should. I need to do some research on it. So as far as a coin, but yeah, I mean, you do have to keep that in mind. It's gonna, I guess, mine what? One thing. That's it. Or is there, I don't think there's anything else that algo mines, right? ERT Ted said, as son of a tech, last night you were wondering why the 3600 outperforms other CPUs. Your 3600, for some reason, all the threads stay running. And on the 2700, 5800, both will only be running half the threads. Well, that's probably because you need to go into the BIOS and allow PBO to be on, right? Not PBO. SMT. Alex Burton says, son of a tech, how much was your last power bill for the farm? Free. So I was in a temporary location for 2 months, and the temporary location from the landlord, they did not charge me any power for 2 months. So we'll find out this month what we're going to be paying, but I got 2 months free power. Jason Pop says, as of a tech, I noticed at the top of your miner there's a lot of blank spaces in the solid hash graph. Mine does that too. Normal? Should you try to fix it? Oh, that part. So those were down. Those were specifically because of the upgrades I was doing to those specific rigs, right? So if we looked at something that was running longer, let me look. Let's go. This one's been running like 8 days. Yeah. So if you looked at like this one, like it's pretty solid. You're going to have some drops. And I'm on a hot spot right now, so I'm going to have a few more drops than I normally would have. But mileage may vary. You may want to look into your network. Anonymous Miner, good to see you here, man. Good to see you here. Thanks for the reminder on the uptick. Why do I feel like I hear my phone ringing? Because it is ringing. Where is it? I don't know that number. They can leave a voicemail. I should have. I thought I muted it, but whatever. All right. Let's see. Lonier says, I have to move for work and can't take my 3 small home miners with me. 18 GPUs total. The place is 300 square foot. Are there any stakeable coins you're a fan of? Not really necessarily off the top of my head right now, other than like, if I'm going to throw my eggs in a basket, I'm going to throw them in the Ergo Cardano basket. So I'm going to say go stake, not financial advice. I'm going to say if I was going to stake, I would probably stake Cardano right now. Or DOT. But probably Cardano because I like Ergo as a GPU miner. Big Mike says, have you looked into Deso? No, I have not. Sorry about that. Coyote says, son of a tech, what's up? What's up, dude? Light hash rate overclock for Ergo 3060 Ti's. I don't have any light hash rate 3060 Ti's right now. But I could look at, I have a revision 1 3060 Ti. Could look at. Brad Nolan says, have you seen the new Team Black Miner LHR update? Yes, I talked about it in yesterday's stream. And that was the title, or in the title of yesterday's stream. We have not tested it yet. So hopefully I'll be testing that this evening at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Big A says, are you currently or considering speculation mining any coin? No, I'm not currently considering anything right now as far as that goes. Oh, Dynamite says, I wish I hadn't dumped my Zcash. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. It happens. Quinn Bali says, son of a tech, what do you think of Raven's future? Will it moon? No, I don't think it'll moon unless it it needs to do so much. It needs to do so much right now. Like, fix their NFT, fix the NFT platform, make it easy. Somebody create a front end for NFTs on Raven that works good and allows people to mint themselves without doing that whole weird process. Unless something's changed, I guess I could go like Raven Coin, NFT. Let's look. Yeah, what's this? What's this? All right, look. I don't want this. Give me a browser. Give me a browser wallet. Let me connect that wallet and mint my NFTs connected to my browser wallet. I don't want to sign up. I don't want to sign up. It goes against everything that is crypto. I don't like it. It's gross. I don't like it. But maybe I'm a boomer. A crypto boomer. Maybe that's true. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe I'm too principled. I don't know. I don't like it. Detroit Irish said, been trying to find the Yori Nightly wallet since the ErgoDex video. It's not pulling up in your Chrome or Edge, only the normal Yori. Even tried using the URL on your browser in the video. Did you go to ergodex.io? Ergodex.io. And then you can go to launch app. And then you can click how to use. And then you can click the direct link from the ErgoDex, which should take you to the plugin directly. Cool. Hope that helps. All right. Was that Mihalo Jovanovic? Did I get that even remotely good? Says, hey, Son of a Tech, what do you suggest as a best beginner GPU for mining? Whatever you have, but I mean, like, at this point, you want to get something with more than, I don't know, let's just say like 8 gigabytes of VRAM or more, something you can afford. Just try it out with one, start playing with it, see if you like doing it or not. Rashad said he got a 3080 Ti for $2,000. Congratulations, good sir. All right. Somebody was telling me the price of the... Oh, dang it. Oh, no. Where is it? KD2 is 8K on eBay. Horrible ROI. How is a KD2 horrible ROI at 8K? Are we talking about this KD2? This KD2? So if you're on, that's not true then. 8,000 divided by even like the bad case, $89.34. Bro, that's a 90-day ROI. Like if that's true, that's incredible. Bro, come on. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Are we talking about the same KD2? Gullible Tech says, that Son of a Tech, are you utilizing Quicksauce farming features, and are there any farms you're interested in? No, not currently. The only thing that I really have is Aave, and I haven't touched it in so long. I don't know what it's worth. I don't know what's made. I have no idea. I need to go connect the wallet and go take a look at some point, but it's fine. CT12L said, should I get into mining now or just throw my money into ETH? All right. Fun time. Let's do it. There's the buyers and the hodlers, like the buying hodlers, right? The cryptocurrency investors, the trade analysts, and then there's the miners. We're miners. We support the network. We support the network through a bear market and through the bull runs. Granted, of course, we could talk about my personal situation with that on a different video. We have addressed it already a couple times. But let's just kind of like think about this from a conceptual point of view right now. If you buy Ethereum, what do you own? You just own Ethereum. Are you generating any revenue with it? What is your plan to generate revenue with it? Are you going to be able to compensate the fees on the Ethereum network with whatever you're generating? If you buy a GPU, what do you own? You own a GPU. What can you do with that GPU? Can you generate revenue with it? Yes, you can. Revenue is king. And even through a bear market, if you can build yourself up enough in a bull run to survive the bear market, then I guess that would be the entire goal. It's also, though, going to just be up to your risk tolerance. All this is not financial advice. You have like, and the amount of work you want to put in, because the fact is mining is going to take more work. It just is. Hunting down GPUs, building rigs, troubleshooting rigs, going through that whole process. But the work's good for you. So if you are going to buy Ethereum, I wouldn't even buy Ethereum if I'm looking at making money, probably. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I mean, but if you were follow like the Uniswap tutorials, start learning how to add liquidity, figure out a way to take that Ethereum and put it to work for you. I guess the laziest way could be using crypto.com and staking it in crypto.com with their little centralized thing. But keep in mind that if you do that, you know, not your keys, not your crypto. I don't think crypto.com's going anywhere, seeing that they basically, you know, sponsor an entire stadium and the UFC. I think for a cryptocurrency exchange, it's probably the safest one right now. B. Kelly said $30.90 for $1,800 where? From a viewer. And Harmon Villa said, Son of a Tech, eat good, sleep good. You the man. You're the man. Thanks for the encouraging words. ALZ said, are you still using FlexPool for ETH mining? Yeah, we just reviewed it earlier today. Deadman said, thank you for leaving the mic box on your dresser behind you. You don't have to ask now. Well, yeah, well, I put it in there, so I don't know. Try This is where I live right now. We got a week more or something like that left. All right, cool. I want to make sure that FedEx package was not turned with the address on it. That would have sucked. All right. Let's get down. Thanks for the invite to Fish, Dave. I don't think I'll be making it to the Canada anytime soon, though, unfortunately. Raymond says, at Son of a Tech, is it too late to get into mining Raptorium? Do the coins have a future? And so I don't know too much about the coin having a future, right? So that isn't something I can speak to. With that being said, is it too late to get into it? It seems like it's still profitable. For me, it's still profitable, right? What is it though? What is Raptorium, right? Like, what is its claim to fame? We can look at it, right? We can look at it. They're attempting to solve real-world issues in ways that can help drive mass adoption. Raptorium provides a secure and fast cryptocurrency that anybody can easily use. But even more than that, Raptorium is building a simple-to-use asset platform that will allow anybody to tokenize anything. So it's not doing anything special. There's, going to be dApps, whatever. So what do we need to see from them, right? Like, what do we need to see from them? They're on like traditional centralized exchanges, right? Coinbase. Oh, I didn't know they were on Coinbase now. Crypto.com. No. Give me my phone. This isn't true. Is this true now? Sorry, I'm looking at crypto.com. Give me a second. Why can't I open crypto.com? I have connection issues out here. We're using all the bandwidth. I didn't think they were on crypto.com yet. What about Coinbase? They're really on Coinbase? That'd be big. Raptorium is on Coinbase. Oh, no, not supported. It's not supported on Coinbase. and not supported on. So I don't know why it says they're on there, because they're not on Coinbase or crypto.com right now that I see. So what does Raptorium need? Well, obviously, if it's claiming to be, you know, a tokenized, like allow you to tokenize on the chain and everything, what does it need? Two things I guess it needs is going to be decentralized exchange, and it's going to need NFT. If we see those things come out, then we're good. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Okay. We got 3 minutes left. Let me snag a couple more. Oh. I don't know. I didn't catch any more questions. I am going to be working on a Raptorium video to discuss the profitability of it versus GPU mining. There's a huge misconception, and I understand that this gets spread a lot. People get excited, right? Same thing happened with Chia. We do all the videos, it looks profitable or whatever, but like not all the things are really thought out because it's new. And one of the things with like CPU mining is you pretty much have only like so many coins that are available, first of all, right? The profitability is not great. And then the way you got to do the hardware can get really problematic at scale. So the problem with the CPU mining, especially with the current CPUs that are best at it, which is like the Ryzen like consumer grade desktop series CPUs, you can only put one CPU on a motherboard, right? You can't put 13 GPU, 13 CPUs with a single motherboard. What problem does that present with mining in general, or like as far as scalability goes? And what it really presents is a switching problem as well as like multiple like pieces of hardware. So not only do you have to buy the CPU, but you have to buy a motherboard for every CPU, and you have to buy memory for every CPU. And then on top of that, you got to buy Ethernet cable for every single rig. You got to buy a power supply for every single rig. And then on top of that, you also have to buy a switch that can support that. So you're scaling, as opposed to having like one rig and you can upgrade to 13 GPUs and you just need one LAN cable and one port on your switch. Now you need a port for every single CPU that you get. So when you're scaling that, you're talking about needing to upgrade switching, which can get very expensive, and all of that. So there's a lot more moving pieces. You can't just do like one rig and like just keep slapping GPUs on. So that's kind of just the idea. And yeah, CPU coolers, a lot of the CPUs aren't coming with coolers anymore, right? And even if they do, if you're putting it in a farm setting, the stock, like as you could see with my rigs or whatever, the stock CPU cooler is not going to work in like a farm setting, right? In a house setting, one rig by itself in a room, probably fine. In a farm setting where you're just like pumping out all that heat, they're not going to do good enough. So that's kind of the realistic look at mining Raptorium at scale. That's all. You're getting what, on an average $2-3 a day? Is that right? I think like per rig. Where if you like went to I don't know, what's the equivalent of that? A 1660 Super? So, yeah, about a 1660 Super for compared to like a 3900X or something, right? So, a 1660 Super you can get for like $569. Like right now, you can order one. Or you could buy a 3900X for $529, a motherboard for like whatever, if you went super cheap, like $50 or whatever. Memory, the dual rank, or not dual rank, excuse me, the 2 sticks of 8 gig, 4 gig each. I think the cheapest I saw that you can order right away is like $33. Then you'll need like one of those cheap power supplies for like $40 or whatever. I don't know. Like, I think that if you're gonna do it, like, I don't, it just doesn't make much sense. I would just buy the 1660 Super. So the case where you would do it, right, and this is kind of what I've been kind of playing with, is if you're gonna utilize that to also throw GPUs on top of, and then you're kind of like, at that point, I think it makes more sense. Detroit Irish says, did you negotiate with the power company to like get your rate, or is it average rate? So you can negotiate for like contracts to keep it within a certain range. Typically, though, you will still be paying whatever that rate is right off the bat. So it's kind of the same that happens with like commercial leasing for like a building, right? Like you have an appreciation cost, like on a 3-year lease or whatever it may be. It's kind of similar to that. That being said, the area I'm in right now has really good power cost just in general. They did up it, and they did release, I think they are releasing, as far as residential goes, they increased it. And then I think they are increasing it over the next 2 years. I don't remember what the exact rates are going to be right now. And then I gotta go, but Crypto Wrath, last one. Suntech, how can I cool your 3080 better? Replace the thermal pads and paste, but it's still running 92 degrees at 70% power. 92 degrees is going to be pretty good, man. You're not going to throttle till 110C. You shouldn't need to do anything. Are you having issues with the hash rate dropping? And then Raven Crypto Miner asked if I'm planning on getting more GPU. Right now I'm buying GPUs. Yes, I'm buying 3090s. I have about like 3 more I think I can get. And then, I don't know, I'll probably get some Asics too. But I got to get going, boys. I'm going to head to Jiu-Jitsu. Thanks for watching today. I hope to see you guys next week. So this is the last crypto mining morning show for the week, and I think it ended pretty good this week. We are on the uptick, so that's nice as far as mining profitability goes. And you know, I think the market's going to look pretty good on Monday. I think we're going to be looking pretty good. You know, Hillary's scared, so I think we're going to look good on Monday.